Okay, and so here's what we're gonna do. On our main level, you guys will have a series of windows and doors that you guys have created and put in. And I hope you guys remember how to tag them. How do we tag them? What menu would we go under to start that?
Annotate.
Yep, annotate. Good. And if I only wanted to tag one window or one door, what button would I push here? Yep, tag by category. And then with this one, we essentially can click on one of them. Can we talk about, again, the things that I look at? Right now, there's a leader on this, and there doesn't need to be one. How do I turn off the leader?
There's a checkbox that says leader right under it.
Yeah, so go ahead and take that off, and we can just put this right here. If I go find another door, I can put this right here. But if you know that every door and every window needs to get a tag, you can do tag all. And then from here, I'm going to select door tags and window tags. Leader is off. Okay. And then if I hit apply, it gives me a preview of what this is going to look like. And at this point, if it looks okay, I can hit OK. If it doesn't look okay, I can hit cancel. You guys want me to show you that one more time? Again, it was tag all, and then from here, door tags, window tags, and then I just make sure to turn off leader, and they should all pop up.
When
Yeah.
I click tag all, it just comes up with room tags only.
Oh, so go back to tag all, and make sure you have door and window on too.
I'm sorry?
So, are you in this menu right now?
So I open it, and the only one that appears is room tags.
Oh,
I don't get the rest of the options.
what floor plan are you in right now?
Main level?
And you do have like doors and windows and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, hit escape for me in case you have something selected and it thinks that it's just tagging that one thing. And let's go back to tag all. Is it still not showing anything? Just room tags. Let me pause real quick. Let me come around and okay. So everybody remember now how to just tag these? Okay. So from here, one thing that I'd want you guys just to kind of take a look at when you go to submit your drawing, just make sure that some of these numbers make sense, you know? So once we look at our schedule, if your doors start at number like 14 and like door number like, I don't know, 4 through 13 don't exist, go through and rename some of these so they're actually in order, right? Okay, so here's the other thing. Let's see, room tag without number. I am going to change these to be my room tag without number, just room tag. That way it'll be a little bit easier for me to see it on the schedule. Okay. All right, so I've got my numbers. Okay, I'll just start out with these. And then, guest bedroom 1, that's just fine. Now what I'm going to do is down here, do you guys see that there is a schedule menu? Okay, and it's where it's in our project browser. It's where all of our views would typically be. But you can see that there's no plus sign here because we haven't added any schedules yet. So the first thing that I'd like you guys to do is to hit this, right click on that, and we're going to do new schedule or quantities. And then, Savid, what I want you to do, try to do this part with us. I think it'll still make a schedule. If it doesn't, I'll wait a minute for you to open up your old project.
I already have it up.
You do? Okay, good. And let's start by doing a door schedule. So do you guys see if we pull down? And I just set mine. I don't know if your screen looks like this, but at first it gives you all the different schedules you can make. And I just want to see the architectural schedules so I can easily get down to doors. Okay, so again, I narrowed it down to architecture. I deselected all of these, and I just want doors. And then everything else for this particular project is really just straight out of the box. You can change the name if you want to, but I'm going to leave everything by default. Okay. Once you get that, go ahead and click OK. And then what this is asking us is what type of information do you want in your schedule? So I'm going to go through and show you guys kind of the order of how I do it, but then you guys can go through and maybe add more detail, rearrange it, but what I'm showing you is just kind of the generic standard. So the first thing that I always put is the mark. So the mark is essentially that number. So if you see a 4 by your door, that's considered the mark. So I put that in first. So this is the order of how things will appear on your table. So mark will be number 1. It sounds like I'm talking about a person. And then right out of the bat, I like to give people the width and height. So width is down on the bottom. Height is somewhere in the middle. They're all alphabetical. Say it one more time. Nope, I just do width and height. Not the rough width or anything like that. Yep. And then I'm also going to add type in here. And then maybe I'll add the finish. We'll see.
This before you finish annotating? Like
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it because the doors have all of the information in them already. It makes more sense to do them, you know, together eventually, just so that you can see the callouts on the sheet and then find it in here. But they'll still find each other. And then let's also add comments. And I don't think there's any sort of fire rating on here right now, but we can add that later. Oh wait, there's fire rating. Let's go ahead and add that too. And I'm going to put comments last. So here's how this works. If anything gets out of order, you can click on the item that you want to reorder. And you see down here there's these up and down buttons. That moves things up and down based on the order that you want it to be in. Okay. And then once you have these, go ahead and just click on OK. And it'll take you to a new sheet right here. And I'm going to do that thing that I hate. I'm trying to zoom in on my screen. This is probably really hard for you guys to read, but you might be able to look at it on your own screen. But do you see here, this is one of my examples where my numbering is crazy. So I have door 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is what happens when you make a door and then delete it and then add a new one. Revit just kind of keeps the numbering, but I will adjust all of these in just one moment. What I'm going to do right now is in the comments, like right here for the fire rating, I can type, whoops, 1 hour, whoa, 1 hour. Okay, so now it knows that all the entry doors will have a 1 hour fire rating. This would be 2 hour. So it knows that all of these doors that are from that same family get a 2 hour fire rating. Okay. Here's the other thing that's pretty cool about this that you just have to be a little bit careful of, is that take a look at door number 1. Okay, door number 1 is 3'10" and 8 feet, and it's 8 feet high. But if I come, let's just take a look at what that looks like on the main level. So here's door number 1. So if I do a dimension, okay, let me get it a little bit more exact so you can see that 3'10". Let me go to the inside. Okay, there's my 3'10". If I come here and I change this mark to be 1.1, And then I come back to my schedule. See how automatically made it 1.1? If I realize that, oh, this door was supposed to be 4 feet in the schedule, if I change it to 4 feet, it's warning me that this change will be applied to all elements of this type. And I click on OK. Now, when I go to my main level, this is now 4 feet. So it's nice because it you can't kind of contradict what's going on in your plan versus what's going on in your schedule. But see what I did to my family here? My family is saying that this is a 36-inch door, but I just made it a 4 feet door. So if I were doing this really super correctly, I would have duplicated it, made it 4 feet, and so on. But that's okay. I just wanted to show you guys that the schedule and the BIM model really work together. So going back, Brittany, I think you made the comment on the wall types. Remember wall type H exterior and wall type H interior? That really couldn't happen in Revit unless it changed all of them. Okay, let's go back. So here, when I do my plans, and I think when not most people, but typically the first room that somebody walks into starts at room 100, and then you start going like 101, 102, but even with that, if you just kept it like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. So for example, in guest bedroom 1, typically you would call all of the doors in that room like door 1A, 1B, 1C, so you know that all of those doors go in that room. Now there's a couple different standards for this. Different offices do it different ways, but that's my favorite way because then I just know all of the doors that go into a particular room. There's other people that just name their doors, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with the level you're on or the room that you're in. The reason why these rooms are called room number 100 is because 100 tells you all the rooms that are on the first level, and then like 200 rooms will be all the rooms that are on the second level. So it kind of gives you and your contractor a little bit more wayfinding in a building too. Chris?
How do you get tags under your text like that?
Tags under my, oh, so right now, do you not have like the room number? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we were doing our tags, if you click on room tag and then pull down, there's several different room tags you can choose from. Is yours right now room tag without number?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you just click on standard room tag, the number will pop up for you. Okay? And that's part of the reason why I asked you guys to have your tags done. So if you wanted these doors to correspond, so now this could be door number 100, then I can easily find it on the schedule. Oops, not yet. I haven't put it on a sheet yet, so let me go back to my door schedule. And there's door number 100.
So if you want to adjust all that, you have to move them all.
And it'll automatic, so you don't have to worry about doing it here. You can just do it on your floor plan as you work, and it'll be automatically added in here.
So you'd have to go 13 and type 12, 14 and type 13.
Yep, you would do it like that. Now, one thing that drives me crazy about door schedules and even window schedules, sometimes you have to include a door or maybe a door opening that's actually not on your plan. I don't think it'll happen to you guys, but in a lot of my projects, if I have existing doors that I need to show on a plan, I'll show the existing doors, but I'm not going to number them because they're already there. The contractor doesn't need to know what door number it is. But however, Revit will see like 10 doors and it's going to try to put them on the schedule when I don't need it. So try this with me too. Again, I don't think it'll happen in this project, but I want you guys to know how to essentially take things off of a schedule if you need to. So there, if you look at your properties, do you see how there's this other menu and there's all these things listed here? If you click on any one of them, it'll take you to all the others. Like they're all sub-menus of each other. So click on one and you'll get to any of them. But what you can do under sorting and grouping, let's say that doors 10 through 16 are doors that I don't want to be on the schedule. So see how I have door 10 through 16? You can come through here and I can actually, let me go to under filter, sorry. I can filter it by the mark, okay? And I can say that the mark, I might do this opposite, give me just a sec, but the mark has to be less than 10. Let's see if that worked. Okay, that worked except for it got rid of my door 100, right? Because of the way I had it listed. But had I fixed my numbers, I could have said, you know, less than 116 if I went through and made all of those consistent. So that's a nice way if you need to filter something. Or if you want to get rid of it, you just change that back to none and then everything comes back. Okay. Again, I don't think that'll happen with your project, but in the future, if you're working with this and you're like, how do I get this off of my schedule without deleting it off of my floor plan? That's how you do it. And then here, by default, it should be sorted by the mark, but in case it isn't, you could say sort by mark and make it ascending. Okay. It brought everything back in that case. I haven't seen it do anything but that, but you never know. When you're working on something, it might want to do something else.
Mine disappeared.
It did disappear when you did the filter maybe? So go back to your filter and then...
Did sort by ascending.
Uh-huh.
I like made them all go with.
Let me go by sort by, let me go to sorting. So do you have it by mark or what's this right here?
Yeah, I have it by mark ascending just like you did.
Really? Change it to none and then click on OK and see if it comes back.
Sorry, where's none?
So pull down where it says mark and then make it none and then click on OK. I bet you have a filter on. So let's go back to filter. And then what does, anything on your filter?
Oh, it's marking. Okay, let's try that.
There we go. Okay, stuck in a filter there. Great. Okay, so that's a simple door schedule. And then from here, once you guys get it all, like the mark's nice, you have it filtered the way you want it, for you to get your extra credit, you just need to put it on a sheet. So I can just drag this over here. It's on a sheet. Again, take a look at the formatting. Make sure that everything's not running into each other or across like 10 lines, you know, because it's so small. This went on pretty good. But that's one of your schedules. Now, just with a little bit of information that I've given you guys, I'm going to pause the lecture. Just take a few minutes and see if you can put together a really simple window schedule for me. Okay, I'm going to pause.
It's so tiny.
So, Erin was just asking, like, hers seems really small and if you should make it bigger, but schedules really shouldn't be huge on the sheet. You should just read it like you would a piece of paper. And if you look at this text over here, it's about the same size as that text. But you could, if you wanted to, you could come in and there is, let me see, if I go to edit type, I didn't need to highlight it, but there are ways that you can go through and change, let me see if it's under appearance. But one of these will let you change the text size of everything. So let me see here, not that. Erin, I'm going to click on like 5 things and not find it because you asked now.
I mean, like, if this is the page I turn in and that's the way it's supposed to look, that's fine.
That is how they're supposed to look.
Seemed, small.
What I wanted to do was to at least show you how to update the text. So if you wanted to make like the font look like all of your other font, I am drawing a blank right now and I can't remember how to do that. It was one of those things that I did years ago so that all of my fonts would match, and now I'm like, how did I do that? Door schedule variables. It's not even an appearance.
No, I already heard it over with. I don't even do that.
Oh, see, so here we go. See how it's saying that these are all scheduled default text? But here's the problem. I don't know how to go into that and change schedule default. Like I don't remember where that is. But if you've used all of these everywhere else, like 1/4 inch is going to be huge. But let me show you what this does.
Yeah, I didn't even have that option. Oh, wait, yes, I do.
You should have that option, yeah. So now if I go and I look at what it looks like on the schedule sheet,
Oh, that's interesting.
I just have to reformat it a little bit because the text got so much bigger.
But that's not something you necessarily have to because it's supposed to be small.
It is supposed to be small. Yep.
So, for the extra credit when we're building a door and window schedule, like, it's going to be a pretty empty page.
Yeah, there's not much. This is what schedules look like. Yeah, this is, and sometimes people do like elevations and sections of them, but we're not going to do that part of it. Okay. But this is how you would go through and build that schedule. Now, how many of you guys have storefronts that aren't adding to your window schedule? Can I get a show of hands? Okay, about half of you guys. What I'll do, I have to do some research and see how we could get that into a schedule. I know that there are some offices that will just do like a window elevation of it. So they'll put essentially an interior elevation tag and detail each one of them out so that you can see how each one of those windows looks like in elevation. And in fact, I think the project set, the wireless switch set, has a sheet similar to that I can just pull up as a quick example. Okay, it would look something like this. I know that these are the doors, but it would look something like this. So see how here it's detailing out the window in elevation right here. So the window schedule is probably on the sheet somewhere. But there are times when this is just what your window details would look like in that storefront. It would just be shown as an elevation. It'd be called out like that. If there is a way to do it on a schedule, I'll let you guys know. But for now, as long as you guys can do a door schedule and then play around and maybe do one other type of schedule, let me show you something else that I typically add in some of my projects. So let's go back to schedules and do one more. Let's do a new schedule here. And let's do walls. Let's see, not wall sweep, sorry. Let's do not slab edges. Yeah.
So I noticed that it adds it by the view, what you're viewing currently, right? Adds like the window or doors.
It should add everything, like all of your windows and doors. So not just what you're looking at, but everything in the whole project.
Mine only added what was below 7 feet because that's where my view range was. So everything that was above, it didn't add that.
It should do the whole project. I'll take a look at it with you though. On mine, it grabbed the whole project.
Okay.
When you're creating it, so let me go back. You were doing your doors, right?
Yeah, I was doing windows.
Windows? Okay, well, doors, windows, I think it should be similar. Let me actually just go down to windows. So if I'm doing a window schedule, see how it says schedule building components? That should be that basically every building component should be part of the schedule.
Okay.
Rather than what's in the view range, but it should get everything.
Okay.
Okay. Now let me hop back up here. I'm gonna do kind of I'm gonna grab my rooms and I'm gonna make a room schedule. And then sometimes what you can do with just your rooms is you can start telling people different finishes. Like, do you see how there's a base finish? I can tell it like what kind of base. I can tell it the floor finish in a particular room. Let's add the name just so we know what room the name is. I can add wall finishes here. Do you guys see a room number? Am I blind? There we go. Number. There we go. I'll move this up. So it'll say the number and then the name, wall finish, base finish, floor finish. So you can use just the room schedule to do some really quick finish schedules. So a couple of you guys, I didn't realize were using text to do your room labels. Make sure you're using room labels to make room labels, because without the room labels, you won't be able to get all of this information. So when I click on OK, you guys can see I've got the guest bedroom, guest bath, master bath, basically every room that has been created in my main floor plan will appear. And similarly, if I come through and I change the name of family room 9 to open space, if I go back to my schedule now room 9 is open space too. And if I decide I don't like that and I want to go back to living room, I'm not going to go back and show you, but just know that whatever I change here will update there. So wall finish, I can go through and you guys can just type this out. Like I can write painted drywall, and wherever I have that same wall type, I can just pull down. Master bath, I will say tile to be approved. That basically means it's going to be tile, but I don't know what kind yet. Okay. Entry, if you want to do like concrete tiles, you know, you can just go through and actually add those. Here you could do like wood stain or painted MDF. And you can go through and add all of those things there. But with this one, it is important that you guys have all of your rooms created first. And then you'll be able to add the information. Do you guys see here that the numbers are crazy? So this is where I could go to sorting and grouping, I think. Yep, and then sort by number, ascending. Now it's not so crazy. It's crazy because I did the 100s, then I switched back to these, but that could be fixed. Right? So with both projects, if you include a 601 sheet and at least place 2 schedules on there, you'll be able to get extra credit for those sheets. So you can do that in the in-view cabin as well as the wireless switch. And again, just make sure that they're formatted. See right here how guest bedroom and all of these names are squished. Just kind of clean those up so that it reads easily, or that it reads a little bit better. What was that? Yeah, there probably is on one of the schedules. I don't know if I can do that in room schedule. Let me go back and try. So you can always go back and edit the fields later. There's a ceiling finish, level. So I don't know, it's got an unbounded height. I have no idea what that means. You can add that to see if it does it. What was that?
Upper limit, that's like one from the bottom.
Upper limit? Let's add both. I'll see what they are. Unbounded height, 10 feet. That's such a weird way of putting it.
Unbound height.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is your room height not attached to anything?
You know what I think the unbounded height is? Because when we create our levels, let's take this room for example. We've got the floor, and then the height up to the structure above, I think could be the unbounded height. So the ceiling would be different, maybe.
Wouldn't that be upper limit?
Is
Or
upper
that
limit on
it's
here?
Unbound height.
I don't know if they're the same thing.
Is unbound height the measurement, and then upper limit with the.
I don't know. I really don't know. Because I don't have a ceiling in here. So I don't know where it's getting the 10 feet from.
Let me put unbound height in and take a look, because I have ceilings in
Okay. And see if it corresponds with that.
Actually, yeah, no, I don't know, cause I have 3 bedrooms, and they would all be the same.
Okay. I don't know.
Then I have them all as the same. Oh, maybe that's because I have them all as the same.
I don't know.
How do you delete a room?
Completely delete it. So what you'd have to do, I'll do a quick review of this. So sometimes what happens, let me do a quick review right here. Right now I have a kitchen in here, right? And when I hover on the kitchen tag, do you guys see, let me do this real quick, sorry. Okay, so when I hover on the kitchen, do you see that not only is it the kitchen label, but it's actually calculating everything in this room? So sometimes what happens is if you delete the kitchen label, it goes away. But do you see that the room is still there? Okay, so in this instance, there's a couple things that can happen. If you come through and try to add another room, it's gonna warn you there's already a room here, multiple rooms. So I'm gonna hit cancel. So if you need to add a new room label, you wouldn't go to room, you'd go to tag room, and it remembers that the kitchen is here. Because you didn't delete the room, you just deleted the room tag. Now if you want to delete the whole room, first you have to delete this box, and then you kind of have to hover over the space until this room box pulls up, and then delete that, and then the room is gone.
On mine it says it's still there. Like on the schedule it has 26 rooms.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently I
So
deleted all.
here's what you can do. If I wanted to delete Kitchen 101, I should actually be able to go to my room schedule, and if let me see if I can delete it from here. Let me delete row. This will delete one selected rooms and any associated room tags. So not only did that delete it from my schedule, but if I go back to my main level, see how that's completely gone? So Chris, I would just delete them from your schedule and it'll delete it from your model.
Is that how you would, because I have all the windows I created prior to putting in my storefronts.
Uh-huh.
I don't want those because I'm not using them.
Are they still in your model? Are
No,
they
they're
just
not in
like,
my model.
oh, okay.
So how would I go get rid of them?
Are they coming up in your schedule? If they're coming up
'Cause
in
they're
your
not- they're not
schedule,
in, but they were placed at one point, so they got a room
but if
or
they
a
got,
window tag at one point, and then
but if they were deleted, they should be totally gone. Like they shouldn't be coming up.
You're trying to change the number from the county. I have like 86 windows.
yeah.
Really?
On my window schedule, I have.
Yeah.
So it should only tag the elements that you've actually created and placed that exist. But it's going back and getting all of them,
Well,
even if
so
it's,
there's only 3 listed on the schedule. Number 36, 83, and 86.
mm-hmm.
That's just because I created 86 windows. Now that they're all storefronts, I just go ahead and just change the actual number.
Oh, so it's 1, 2, 3. But I think what Lucas is saying is he has like extra windows,
Well, it doesn't have my storefronts either,
but there's extra windows in your schedule that aren't in your plan anymore.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be.
Well, when you click on it,
Mm-hmm.
it goes by what's in your view. That's what just happened on mine.
So, but here, so like for example, if I have window 36,
Mm-hmm.
if I take window 36 and delete it, let me get rid of all of that. So from here, if I go to my schedule sheet, I didn't have, wait, did I didn't place my window schedule yet. I didn't make a window schedule yet. Let's do that real quick. Let me just do it like this. Let me do this first. I'm just going to do the mark because we just know that there's not a window, what was it, 36? And now it's gone. So it was there a minute ago, but because I deleted it, it's no longer there and it shouldn't show up anymore.
So how do I get mine to come in? Because not all of them are there.
Are your storefronts? Are they actual windows? Okay, let me take a look at it. I'll pause this.